clearing, and down the road he gone. We are gonna eat. We are gonna eat. We've got frogs, so we are gonna eat. Now, Mama saw him coming down the road. And when she saw him coming pulling that sack, she started her song. She had a big black pot. She called to him, pour 'em in, the big fat frogs. Pour 'em in, the big fat frogs. And Mama got to cooking. She had squish frogs, mush frogs, fried frogs, and for dessert, they had frogs a la mode. And the baby cried, we love frogs. Oh, it was a good eating. Every morning he did the same thing, kissed his wife, grabbed his sack, down the road he went. We're gonna eat, we're gonna eat. We've got frogs, so we're gonna eat. And yes, he had frogs. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the cousins and the uncles and the aunts. Ready? The mothers and
the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the cousins and the uncle and the aunts.
And he stuffed that bag full, dragging down the road. You said, pour 'em in, big fat. Pour 'em in, the big fat frogs. They had squish frogs, mush frogs, fried frogs, and for dessert, frogs
a la mode.
That's right.
Babies cried, we love frogs. But down at the pond, there was a different story. The frogs were in a mess. They were jumping here and croaking there and laying up and trying to die when somebody said, we need to do something about that possum. Well, what you gonna do? We need a lookout, said one of the girls. And the boy says, yeah, we need a lookout. So the girls and the boys decided they'd work together because when you work together, you can get so much more done. And
teamwork. Mm-hmm.
Teamwork. So the girl said, we'll look out. And the boy said, we'll look out. So this morning they were ready. Brother Possum kissed his wife, grabbed his sack, went down the road singing, we're gonna eat. We've got frogs.
We gonna eat.
But the girls spotted him first and they hollered out, here he comes. And the boys repeated, here he comes. And all the frogs jumped in the pond, swam to the middle, and set up on lily pads. Brother Possum got to the pond. Hey, where are those frogs? I know they were here. I caught them yesterday. The day before that. I had them. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the cousins and the uncles and aunts. And I can't. He looked out in the middle of the pond and there sat all those frogs. Mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers
and cousins and
aunts. He said, shucks. They out in the middle of the pond. He was so mad he kicked the stump. And out of the stump came all of these little bugs. He couldn't get those frogs. They were in the middle of the swamp. And he couldn't swim. But the bugs were right there. So he gathered up the bugs. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the
cousins and the aunts and the uncles.
He stuffed them in the sack and went down the road singing, we're gonna eat.
We gonna eat.
We've got
bugs. We gonna eat.
His wife says, darling, where are those big fat frogs? Pour 'em in. The big fat, darling. Yes, dear. We don't have frogs today. Well, my husband, exactly what do you have? We have bugs. We have bugs. Bugs? And the babies cried, we don't like bugs. But they had. So there they had. Squish bugs. Mush bugs. Fried bugs. And for dessert, they had
bugs a la mode.
And the baby cried, we don't like bugs. And Mama Possum gave Papa Possum a dirty look. But morning, he got up much earlier because he figured the early frog, the early possum catches the
worm. The frogs.
jumped out of bed, grabbed his sack, kissed his wife, and went down the road singing, "We gonna eat,
We gonna eat.
we got frogs."
We gonna eat.
But remember, the frogs had come together in cooperation because they knew the benefit of
Teamwork. Mm-hmm.
yelled out, "Here he comes!" And the boys yelled out, "Here he comes!" And all the frogs jumped in the pond, swam to the middle, and set up on lily pads. The minute Brother Possum got there, he spied him. Doggone it. There they are here out in the middle of the pond, and I can't.
Get them. Mm-hmm. Can't swim.
He was so mad, he took a tree and just shook it. And worms came falling down from the tree. He couldn't get the frogs, but he could get the
Worms.
So he stuffed his bag. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the cousins and the uncles and the aunts. He drug that bag down the road singing, "We're gonna
eat. We're gonna eat.
We've got
So we're gonna eat."
Well, Mother Possum saw him coming and she says, "Darling, bring him on in. Pour him in, pour him in." Fat frogs. He says, "Sweetheart." She says, "Don't you tell me you brought me no bugs today." "No, darling, I did not bring you bugs today. I brought you
Worms.
worms." "Brought what?" "I brought worms." Oh, the babies cried. "We don't like
Worms.
Worms is exactly what they had. Worms, mush worms, fried worms, and for dessert,
Worms a la mode.
And the babies cried all day long. Mama gave Papa the stinker all day long. And Papa couldn't take it, so he decided to go for a walk in the forest to see what he could do about those frogs sitting in the middle of the pond. He was feeling pretty downhearted, feeling pretty disgusted, when out of nowhere out jumping Jack Rabbit, his very best friend, who always had a happy disposition. "It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, it's a beautiful day." "What's wrong with you, Possum? Look like you lost your very best friend." "I've not lost my best friend, it's those frogs." "Oh yeah," said Jumping Jack Rabbit. "Lots of them down by the pond. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the cousins and the uncles and the aunts." "I know," said Possum, "but I can't get them. Every time I get down there, they sitting in the middle of the pond on lily pads, and I bet they even saying, 'Nanny, nanny, boo, boo.'" He says, "Listen, oh, in the pond. You never did pass your swim test at the local community center, did you? Did I tell you you need to learn how to swim?" "Yeah." "You better take that into consideration. But because you're my very best buddy, I'm going to tell you what to do. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That. So the very next day, Brother Possum jumped up early, kissed his wife, grabbed his sack, and went down the road singing, "We're gonna eat, we're gonna eat, we've got frogs, so
we're gonna eat."
And of course, the girls heard him and they yelled out, "Here he comes!" And the boys yelled out,
"Here he goes."
And all of the frogs jumped in the pond, swam to the middle, set up on lily pads, and this time they really did say, "Nanny, nanny, boo, boo." Brother Possum was so upset, but he remembered what his best friend had told him. So he spun around to the right, and he spun around to the left, and all of a sudden he just fell out and didn't move a muscle. The girls yelled out, "What's the matter with him?" And the boys wanted to know, "What's the matter with him?" Well, nobody knew. But it was most convenient that Jumping Jack Rabbit came along just about then. "Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Oh, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful..." Oh, oh no. My best friend Possum He's dead, he's dead, he's dead. The girls yelled out, what did he say? The boys wanted to know, what did he say? Jumping Jack Rabbit said, I said he's dead. And I remember he once told me, wherever he fell dead, just dig a hole and leave him there. But I just got my nails done, so I need a little help. Well, the girls heard him, and the boys heard him, and the girls yelled out, we can help. And the boys yelled out, we can help. So the frogs swam in from the pond. They gathered around Brother Rabbit, a Brother Possum, who was supposed to be dead. And Brother Rabbit said, start digging. They were a digging and a digging and a dirt. They were a digging and a digging in the dirt. When the girl says, wait a minute, we getting kind of warm down here. Is that deep enough? And the boys want to know, we getting warm too. Is that deep enough? Rabbit said, can y'all jump out? Yes, we can, said the girls. Yes, we can, said the boys. He said, well, that's not deep enough. Keep digging. A digging and a digging and a digging in the dirt. They were a digging in the dirt. When the girls got hot all over again, they said, wait a minute. We've been digging for a while now. Is it deep enough? And the boys want to know, is it deep enough? Brother Rabbit wanted to know, can y'all jump out? Yeah, maybe we can, said the girls. Maybe we can, said the boys. Well, it ain't quite deep enough, said Brother Rabbit. Keep digging. And they went, come on, dig with me. A digging and
a digging and a digging and a digging
and a digging. But the girl said, wait a minute. Not digging, not one more nothing. Because we tired of digging. Is it deep enough? And the boys agreed, yeah, is it deep enough? Brother Rabbit wanted to know, can y'all jump out? No, we can't, said the boys. No, we can't, said the girls. Well, Brother Rabbit said, well, it's deep enough. Jump up, Brother Possum, it's dinner time. And that possum, whom they thought was dead, who was laying at the bottom of that hole they'd been digging, grabbed his sack and started stuffing frogs. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers and the cousins and the uncles and the aunts. Do you know? The mothers and the
fathers and the sisters and the brothers and
the brothers and the cousins and the uncles and the aunts.
Yes, they did. Every last one of them was in that sack, and Brother Possum was grinning like a possum.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Down the road, singing to his loudest voice. We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat. We've got frogs.
And we're gonna eat.
Mama heard that. Did you say frogs, honey? Yes, honey, I said frogs. She said, pour 'em in, pour 'em in. Big fat frogs. Pour 'em in, pour 'em in. The big fat frogs. And you know what she made? Squish frogs. Mush frogs. Fried frogs. And for dessert, they had
frogs Alamo.
And the babies cried, we love frogs. Well, the possum family ate well for quite some time. But down at the pond, a remnant of the family frogs got away. And from that day to this, they remember that possum. They said every closed eye ain't dead and every ain't dead. Chances are he could just be playing
possum.
Possum.
Dot, dot.
That's good. That was a good one. Yeah.
When I saw that possum, I cracked up. And then when he was gone, I laughed at myself. I said, doggone it, he got me. In possum. So that was a good one.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Yay, thank you. I like to quilt. I'm a midnight quilter in the winter time. I stitch them together line after line when my family is asleep and nobody in my house will bother me. It's the way I relax. It's the way I regain my sanity. Because I like to quilt and stitch and sew and craft, I'm one of those all-time busy women. Of course, when I found this particular story, I said, aha, my kind of story. And it's called 7 Balls of Thread, and it's by a sister out of Texas. And you can find it at the local library, 7 Balls of Thread. On the great continent was a father who had 7 sons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
6,
7.
7,
1, 2, 3, 4,
3, 4,
5,
5, 6,
7.
7.
Now it took a lot to take care of these 7 sons because his wife had the nerve to up and go to heaven when the last one was born and left him with these 7 sons. And they all had dispositions that were just not necessarily the best complement to each other. But as a farmer, you needed everybody's hands and everybody's body and everybody's mind on the work in order for you to produce the product you needed to live and for everyone to have plenty, because when you had plenty to eat, you also had plenty to share, because that's what you do when you work together. But the problem was the sons did not want to work together. He says, my children, if I tell you nothing else, is to cooperate, to work together for the better good of us all. And then everybody can benefit. Not only will there be some for you and us, there'll be some for them and theirs. All right, Papa, they all agreed, but they didn't. When it was time to get up in the morning to go to work in the fields, one brother would say, let's get up at 7. Another one says, no, let's get up at 5. Another one wanted to get up at 8:15. When they went to the fields to plow, you start on the north deck. No, I want to start on the south deck. I want to start on the south side. Go to the east. Agree. When it was time to choose the crops to plant corn, peas, soybeans, sweet potatoes, yams. They're the same thing. No, they're not. It was constant. Even in the house when they came in to eat, Papa would say, who cooked? Well, I didn't cook. Well, I don't want to cook. Well, somebody's got to cook if we want to eat. Well, let's have beans and rice. No, let's have sweet potatoes and beets. Sweet potatoes and beets. Let's have bacon. You got to have some vegetables, son. You need to be strong and healthy to work this crop. Well, this went on all the time, regardless as to what it was, whether it was going to the fields or whether it was watering the cattle or bringing in the crop. He couldn't get his sons to understand that cooperation was what they needed in order to be successful. And don't you know, one day while they were out in the field squabbling about which crop to harvest, the papa had gone to heaven when they got back. And the elder was sitting around the fire. He says, my sons, your father has gone to be with the elders, but he left this message with you. 7 balls of thread. He said the problem with you were you didn't want to cooperate. 7 balls of thread, 1 for each of you, has been left. And you have to take these 7 balls of thread, red, yellow, black, white, purple, green, and blue, 1 for each of you. And you have to turn it into gold by the time the sun goes down on tomorrow, or you will lose this land and all that your father has worked for, and you will be destitute. Destitute? Yeah, look it up. And you cannot argue. If you argue, the ancestors will know and you will still lose it all. You have to cooperate. The oldest son says, we have to turn this thread into gold by the time the sun goes down on tomorrow. Yes, you do. And come see me and show me, so I will know. So I can declare to the village that you have done what your father has wished, and all will be well. And if you do not, everything you own will be given to the poor. Wow. They lived in the village of red. Everything in the village was the color red. They knew red very well. So they all argued as to who was going to get the red, and then they stopped because they remembered in order to keep the land, they could not argue. So everyone just took a color, regardless as to what it was. There were 7, red, yellow, black, white, purple, green, and blue. They held it up to the sun. Where's the gold in this thread? I don't know. I don't see any gold. You see any gold? Nobody saw any gold. One brother says, there's not enough yarn here to make much of anything. How can I make anything to bring home gold if I don't have but this little bit of thread? And another one said, I've got a little bit of thread. We all have some thread. Suppose we join together and use all these threads together. What? We live in the village of red. Everything is red. Nothing is any other color but red. Another brother said, that's right. So if we mingle all of these colors together, it's going to give us the most beautiful fabric you've ever seen. And I bet everybody from miles around will come tomorrow to the village and buy at the market our beautifully colored threads that we've woven into fabric. That's a good idea, said one brother, but I'm hungry. Another brother said, you're always hungry. But what are you going to do about it? One brother said, well, I can cook. And another said, I can make a loom. Another brother said, I can get the sticks to make the loom. Another one says, I can teach you how to loom. Another one said, I'll clean the kitchen after we eat. Yeah, we know you're always hungry. So one brother started cooking. Another brother brought the wood for the fire. Another brother went and got the sticks to make the loom. Another brother instructed others how to loom. And they took turns after they ate. And they did not argue once. And the colors were woven together. Red, yellows, black, white, purple, green, and blue. All night long, they took turns. Somebody washed dishes. Someone cleaned up the place after they ate. And everybody worked together to make this beautiful fabric. As the sun was coming up, they said, is there any more thread? No more thread. Then the fabric is ready. There was enough to go in 7 baskets, each brother with a basket high on their shoulders, going to the marketplace. Because once a month, everybody from miles around came to the village to get their basic necessities. And in the village of Red, they were sure this was going to be a commodity everybody wanted. And they were right. They were not there 5 minutes before someone says, what is this? What is this? This is not red. We are the village of Red. And the brother said, we know. This is gorgeous. I must have some. You may. And each person that bought this beautiful red, yellow, black, white, purple, green, and blue fabric paid with gold.
Oh.
And by noon, the brothers had sold all of this beautiful fabric. They went to the village elder and they came before him and said, we are ready, village elder. And the first thing he wanted to know, did you cooperate? Yes, we did. Did you argue? Only a little, but not much. And you have gold? We do. Ah, said the village elder, you have learned a valuable lesson. I am sure your father, who has gone to the ancestor land, is very proud of you. You may keep all that he has worked for. You are a great attribute to your father. You do his name proud. Thank you, said the brothers. Thank you very much. And now they had all the property their father had left to them. But the youngest one says, but what about the poor in the village? What about them? What about them? Asked the village elder. Did you not learn anything? One brother said, well, just like we wove the fabric out of many colored threads, we could teach them to weave fabric out of many colored threads. Very good, said the village elder. It sounds like you're willing to share as you cooperate. We are, said the brothers. And in that village, all the men came together and the brothers taught them to make this beautiful, fantastic fabric with all of these beautiful colors. Red, yellow, black, white, purple, green, and blue. And to this very day, in these villages on the great continent, that fabric is still being made, and it's called kente cloth.
Kente. Yep. Good job. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Tell me, I want to know about my folks from long ago. Tell me how we came to this land, across the seas and the barren sands. Tell me how we came to be. Tell me about me. Tell me about my Uncle Ray. They say the man prayed every day. What about my cousin Rook? They said that man could really cook. What about my cousin Jack? They say he could swing a bad. So tell me a story.
Story.
Tell me a
A
story.
story.
Tell me, I want to know about my folks from long ago. Tell me how we came to be. Tell me about me. Yeah.
Tell me a story. Good job. Good job.
I want to chat a little bit, ask questions. Have you written any stories yourself? Have you shared with your grandchildren and your children? Have you found stories that you didn't know about because your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, those stories that were secret and everybody need to know because nobody know before they go? Tell some stories, share some stories, communicate. Okay, so I finished with, who's that? Doretha?
Nope.
Okay, so I finished with a joke I heard that was really funny. And I like funny jokes because I like to laugh. And it was last week I did stories on wishes. And so this is a throwback on that one. So this man walked into the restaurant and the waitress seated him and gave him a menu. And right behind him was an ostrich. And she came over and sat down too. And the waitress didn't say anything because after he had placed his order and she had served him, he reached into his pocket and got the right amount of money to pay her for the meal and just the amount to pay her for a tip, which was very generous. And she thanked him, and he and the ostrich left. The following week, the same thing. The man comes in, there's a woman, ostrich behind him. They get seated. He reaches into his pocket. He pulls out just the right amount to pay for the meal and a generous tip. But the third time, she couldn't help herself. She says, please, I am being nosy. I do want to know, what's with the ostrich? He says, there. He said, I found a magic stone. And as I rubbed the stone, it told me I had 3 wishes. So I made them. The first wish, I wish to have the right amount of money for anything I wanted to buy. And every time I go into my pocket, I bring out the right amount of money for anything I want to buy, and tips included. She said. And the second wish? The second wish was to live a long, healthy life. And the third one, he says, yeah, I wish for a tall chick with big breasts.
It's cute.
So much, guys, for being with me. I appreciate you so much. You got time? I got one more song.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that okay, Janae? Okay.
Yes.
I love strong women, and I want our women to realize that regardless as to what they do, they got to take a little time for them, because if you don't take time for yourself, you're going to feel deplenished, and you need to fill your own bucket while you're constantly filling somebody else's. So I wrote the song, Women Are Strong. Women are strong, it's true, with so many things to do, from taking care of the house, the job, the kids, and the spouse. You need to take some quiet time. It doesn't have to cost a dime. You can go for an evening stroll, and it's good for you, young or old, and you will do it when you love yourself. When you love yourself, before you can love anybody else, you got to learn to love yourself. Now you are a divine original. Nothing about you is crazy or dull. You've been given everything you need. Just keep it in your mind that you're put here to succeed. Shout it to the crowd. Shout it out loud. You know how to love yourself. Be proud of who you are. In his eyes, you are a star. He made you taking his time. The least you can do is shine. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. Before you can love anybody else, you got to learn to love yourself. Your turn. You got to
Love yourself.
love
yourself.
you before you can
Love
anybody else.
Yes.
Got to learn to
love yourself.
love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, good job.
It's
Good
been
job.
great, guys. Janae,
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so very much for the opportunity to share.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wonderful 3 sessions. And this class is actually going to be up for 1 week. So if you want to replay this, you are welcome to do so on our Facebook page. It'll be there. Show your friends, show your family. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all to the participants for joining in and being a part of our interactive storytelling today. And we are going to press forward and continue to do this virtually while we are socially distancing.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say that I do feel refreshed and lighthearted and powerful. Thank you.
Thank you, Willa. Thank you, Janae. Yeah.
And your mom
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry we missed the beginning. Sorry we missed the beginning.
Oh, it's all right as long as you showed up, darling.
And said that I can catch the beginning on the Facebook, so that'll be good too.
That's
Wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
And we missed you last week, but
Oh.
we're back. We
Life
got 2
happens,
out
baby.
of 3. 2
you.
out of 3. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We appreciate
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
In touch, Willa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't.
Janae, did you get the CD?
I did. I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to distribute that out, just sort of looking to see who was consistent on the
Well,
session.
do what you want to do. I just wanted to make sure you got it. With the mail being what it is.
Yeah, I did get it. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Excellent.
And I think I might give it to probably, it's tough. Maybe
All right. Hold on to that one, and then we can decide what you're going to do maybe the next time. Why don't you enjoy it? Play it for folks in the office.
when they're there.
Thank you much. Do I need to sign any paperwork? No, the contract has been signed. Everything is good. All right.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Sure, take care. Be safe.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.